pain, suffering. These things come in threes, and so here is the third instalment in a game that caused a million tough blokes to cry home to their mums. Super Ghouls N Ghosts on the Super Famicom. It's the third game in the Ghosts N Goblins series, and the first not to be released for the arcade. It again depicts Knight Arthur saving Princess Guinevere and the kingdom from Emperor Sardius, who has cast a spell that has revived the Ghoul realm. The player takes the role of the Knight Arthur, who must save Princess Guinevere and rid the kingdom of the Ghoul realm, which is revived under a spell of Emperor Sardius, who has kidnapped Guinevere in the Phantom Zone. The game has 4 difficulty settings, and the player can set up to 9 lives. However, the sadists that Capcom are decided to only include 6 continues. The first thing the player notices in this version, apart from the gratuitous use of Mode 7, has to be the music. I do not care what anyone says. This is some of the best music I have ever heard in this series, or possibly even the best music on the SNES, although ActRaiser might have something to say about that. The Super Famicom SMP Sony sound chip was definitely the best sound chip of the 16-bit era, and it gets a serious workout in this game. The whole soundtrack has this orchestral feel to it, especially in the first level, which thankfully is the same tune in all of these games up to this point, and so it is easy to compare, except there is no comparison. This soundtrack is absolutely amazing, and every level just sounds so damn good. I love the soundtrack to this game, and always have done. There are some really good sound effects as well. The chime when collecting icons, the sound of the armour power-up, the sound effect of the thunder in level 2. Just like the soundtrack, everything sounds great. The visuals are very impressive and look so close to the Ghouls N Ghosts arcade, but the use of Mode 7 and the additional layers of parallax scrolling edge this one over the Mega Drive version. The opening level has so much going on, with the skeletal remains and the groundswell being included, and there are coffins popping up everywhere. And in a nod to the original, the Reapers have been replaced with the zombies. There are plenty of other nice touches through the game as well. The waves in the second part of level 2, with the background swelling up as the foreground is low, really does give off this whole feeling of a moving ocean at rough sea. The spiral towers in level 3, where it's the background that moves around Arthur to give off the effect of him moving around it. Just little neat touches like that help the game stand out against its Mega Drive rival. The gameplay challenge is again at a high level. Enemies respawn from everywhere, and it can be really frustrating at times. This is not a fast-paced game, and Capcom decided to move away from the run and shoot elements to make it more like a platformer game, and for me, this provides a challenge of a different kind, as I am rubbish at all that platform jumpy stuff. Again, the game requires 2 playthroughs to beat, which I could never face doing, and with about an hour's playtime for the first run, you could be at this for 2 hours, and with no saves or battery backups, you better make sure you put the Do Not Disturb sign on at work. There are changes to the power-up system as well, so in addition to the gold armour, you can also get the bronze armour, which you need to get before you can get gold. And bronze armour provides a power up for your weapon, and then when you get the gold you keep the power up, but you also get a magic attack. The ability to throw weapons straight up is now gone, and instead Arthur has this double jump, which does help with a lot of the jumpy stuff. While Super Ghouls N Ghosts is a great game, it's not all sunny uplands. There is an absolutely horrendous amount of slowdown to be had in this game. It's brutal at times. Right from the off, on the first level, it's there. And it just crops up in almost every level. When I had convinced my parents to get me a Super Famicom for Christmas '91, we went to this console importer in Edinburgh who had this game for sale and offered it at a reduced price as I was buying a console at the same time. But knowing how difficult these games were, I declined. But I also declined as when I seen the slowdown I was surprised. Initially, I thought there was something wrong with his display Super Famicom, as no magazine had ever reported slowdown in Super Famicom games. But then I seen Super R-Type as well, and at that point I started to have doubts about even getting a machine. But after seeing F-Zero, I soon lost all doubt. But I walked away with a Super Famicom and Super Mario World. Yes, I knowingly got myself a platform game, even though I didn't like platform games. But that will definitely be a video for another time. Anyway, my mate with oodles of money had got this game for Christmas that year, along with a Super Famicom and a whole load of other games. But he wasn't a massive fan of it, and I got to borrow it for a few months. And I do remember this one time when my mate was over, and we played it for like 8 hours straight in an attempt to try and beat it. But we never did. It was just so difficult. And all of these games were. It's what they were famous for after all. After the game was released in 1991, almost a year after the Super Famicom was released in Japan, critics were quick to heap all sorts of praise on it, and it was regarded as the best in the trilogy, even with all the slowdown present. Years later, the game was ported across to the Sega Saturn as part of the Capcom Generation Chronicles of Arthur collection, and that version had none of the slowdown. And so, after about 7 years, I could finally agree with the critics. It was the best in the trilogy, for sure. And that was my look back at Super Ghouls N Ghosts. If you like this video, then please do give me a sub and a thumbs up, or maybe even a comment or two below. And that's all from me, folks. Thanks for watching.